which trap cold fronts as they come moving down.
And when these two air masses collide, the result can be tornado.
It's hit major damage. It's hit the interval plate here. I've got major damage at the interval plate. I see smoke. I see fire.
Another breed of Oklahoma twister tracker is the man who taped this tornado.
I got it. Just settle down.
Jeff Petrovsky is a storm chaser who photographs twisters and phones in his sightings. The meanest storm system Petrovsky ever experienced is the one that's approaching the truck stop where Francis works on a busy Saturday afternoon.
We was getting a lot of wind. You could feel it. And there was some rain and it all of a sudden quit. But then you get the quiet of a church, that's when you better start looking for somewhere to go.
The first storm that went up, within 10 or 15 minutes, it was already starting to rotate.
Jeff hit the road to catch the storm.
And a few minutes later, it started producing golf ball to baseball size hail, which is just the early signs of this storm is going to be really serious.
At the truck stop, a waitress sees the twister first.
I heard the glass break, somebody yell, I dropped the dishes, and I ran in the kitchen. And immediately covered my deep fryer and made a place for me to get to.
The truck stop is struck as Petrovsky approaches. He panics at what he can see through the storm.
I saw utter destruction of cars, 18-wheelers on top of everybody. I literally saw bodies on the interstate, just seconds coming out of the rain and hail.
Cars, I've got people trapped and hurt all over the place. We got help coming on the way.
I radioed back into Tulsa County and let them know that a truck stop had been totally leveled.
It was a mess. I mean, I'd never seen a tractor and trailer on top of another one. And I knew that's where most casualties have been.
Storm Stories will return after the break.
Everybody's going back where they came from.
John, the story tonight is Metro Utilities have a mess on their hands. As you know, this afternoon's storm knocked out power lines across the area, and tonight thousands of people are without power. Officials say it's going to be several hours before power is restored, and police are advising people to sit tight. They understandably want to keep the roads clear for repair trucks and emergency vehicles. So far, people are taking the blackout conditions in good stride. Some, of course, are handling it better than others.
Honda generators are available at a dealer near you.
You are cordially invited to a college graduation, your own graduation. It will be held a lot sooner than you think, because at University of Phoenix, you can earn your bachelor's or master's degree in the most efficient way possible. Attend just one class and one learning team meeting per week at a convenient campus location, or attend class online whenever and wherever you want. Most students earn their degree in just 2 to 3 years. Designed for working adults, University of Phoenix is the largest private accredited university in the U.S. We offer degrees in business, e-business, management, IT, marketing, accounting, education, criminal justice, nursing, and more. Accept our invitation to your success. Call 1-800-430-2001. One phone call is all it takes. Start earning your degree today. University of Phoenix. Call today at 1-800-430-2001.
It's a hobby that's gotten just a little out of control, maybe, but
it really helps ground me spiritually as well as emotionally.
This is the land that Troy built, where people work hard, live simply, and get ready for spring with legendary Troy-built rototillers.
I eat the produce that I grow. I don't buy it in the grocery store.
With powerful rear-mounted tines, you can guide the rugged Troy-built with just one hand.
I've owned my tiller for 22 years, and I'm going to pass it on to my kids.
Call now and get a free copy of our 48-page gardening guide. The Troy-built digs down deep to create nutrient-rich soil for bigger, more beautiful flowers and vegetables.
These babies were born in Troy-built soil.
And right now, you can get 0% financing, plus free freight and a free accessory. Call for information on the complete Troy-built line.
This tiller will last longer than me.
This is the land that Troy built. Call now and join us.
end up with somewhere around 7 dead and approximately 150 injured, and somewhere in the neighborhood of about $130 million in damage, and all that happened in the span of about 10-minute time frame. If you live in Oklahoma long enough, you're going to come face to face with one of these killer tornadoes.
Francis Cone survived the truck stop twister. Now he plans to move to Florida.
I can live with a hurricane. No, I can't handle no tornadoes.
For Storm Stories, I'm meteorologist Jim Cantor. Now stay tuned for your local forecast.
Now, from the Weather Channel, here's your local forecast, always on the 8s of every hour.
Tornadoes. They're bad enough when you see them coming.
Tornado on the ground!
But what happens when they roar toward you in the night?
Never been scared like that before in my life.
Blizzards. As climbers scale Mount McKinley, a blinding storm traps them at 14,000 feet.
I couldn't feel anything from my legs down. My toes were black and frozen together.
Flash floods. When storm water rages down the Los Angeles River, people who fall in are in deadly peril.
All right, let's go. The man has let's go.
That's coming up on Storm Stories.
From the Weather Channel, this is Storm Stories with meteorologist Jim Cantori.
And hello and welcome to this special update on this winter storm we're tracking for you. I'm Jennifer Lopez, and we'll get back to storm stories in a few minutes. But first, we want to check on the conditions on a few cities that are being impacted by this system as snow has fallen from the Midwest all the way to the East Coast. And we have crews at two locations. Meteorologist Bill Keneally is in Greensboro, North Carolina, and Mike Seidel is in Ashland, Virginia, which is just outside of Richmond. We'll start out in Greensboro, where the snow has pretty much tapered off, but how are the roads still doing there? I can see traffic moving pretty smoothly around you. How are things looking tonight?
Jennifer, they're doing mighty fine out here on the highway. They are barreling. Let me tell you, they're probably doing 60, 65 right now out here. You got to wonder, the air temperature about 29 degrees, so yes, the primary roadways are fine, but watch the bridges, watch the overpasses, and as you go west, you're heading towards Winston-Salem. You're getting into the colder air mass, and probably some of the deeper snow fell too over in that area, so use caution. Speaking of the heavier snow falling, let's show you some pictures here shot during the height of the heaviest of snow, right around the 8 to 9 o'clock hour. And once again, the snowfall tally about 2 inches here in Greensboro. The highway did get snow covered, very slushy for a while. It cut the speeds down, maybe 40, 45 miles per hour. But Courier and Ives type of scene here in suburban Greensboro. We're about 5 miles, by the way, to the west of the downtown area. But the season now up to about 7 inches. But again, nothing like that 4.7-inch snowfall accompanied by a crippling ice storm back here in early December. Now let's get the latest on what's happening up on another busy interstate, namely I-95. And for the latest, here's Mike Seidel. Good evening, Mike.
Hello, Bill. Here north of Richmond off I-95, about 10 minutes north of town. The snow has tapered off. We picked up 2 to 3 inches so far. The temperature is only 25 degrees. So it certainly is sticking, but out on the highways where they've dumped a ton of salt, and we've had a fair amount of traffic on Interstate 95, the roads are wet. There are still some snow patches, and especially, as Bill mentioned, watch the bridges and overpasses, but the traffic is now running at about 45 miles an hour versus the posted speed limit of 65. On the radar, you can see how quickly this storm has moved in and has moved on out. It started snowing here about 3 hours ago. 59.